everyone, welcome back to my channel. Now this month I had the opportunity to visit a place called Puerto Viejo de Talamanca. Commonly referred to as simply Puerto Viejo. And let me tell you guys, it's such a vibe. I spent 4 days there and plan to return. It's a small tropical town along the Caribbean, and if you're into surfing or enjoy a good beach party, then this place is meant for you. However, one thing I learned about Puerto Viejo is that it's so much more than just surfing and beaches, and I was glad I got to go. So follow me as we explore my 4-day itinerary for Puerto Viejo. The thing about getting to Puerto Viejo is that it takes a while. I took a direct flight to San Jose Airport from my country and then rented a car from the airport to Puerto Viejo. This trip took about 4 hours, and by the time I finally arrived at my hotel, I was beat. The traffic in San Jose was terrible, and I ended up adding an extra hour to my travel time. If you don't have a car or a tour group, you'll have to reach Puerto Viejo by bus. There are tourist shuttles, but they are incredibly overpriced and offer little more than the public bus. If you want to save costs, consider taking the public bus. There are approximately 5 departures per day, and one-way ticket costs about $11. The Caribbean receives a significant amount of rain, particularly from December through February. All that moisture certainly makes for gorgeous green jungles, perfect for wildlife viewing, but it could also make your stay a soggy one. Target September and October, when the Caribbean coast is typically dry and sunny. On the first day, I decided to go sightseeing. I want to get a better feel for my surroundings, so I decided to take a walking tour. For breakfast, I had a dish called gallo pinto, which is essentially rice and beans with eggs. It's kind of a national meal around here, and the restaurant I visited did not disappoint. By the time I was done, it was 9 a.m. I was going to continue with my idea of a walking tour, but then I discovered that you can go on a bike tour, which was pretty cool to me. So I decided to take a bike tour instead. I went on a guided tour. Puerto Viejo has such a beautiful landscape, and it was an experience to suck it all in while also keeping up with my cardio. So you can rent a bike for 24 hours for as little as $5 to $7. I decided to go beach hopping. Hey! Now, Puerto Viejo's beaches are to die for. I went kayaking at Punta Uva. Now, that's an area renowned for its dramatic cliffs, caves, and lush rainforest. If you're dreaming of soft white beaches, crystal clear turquoise waters, and lush rainforests teeming with wildlife, Punta Uva is the destination of your dreams. A large coral reef protects it, so you don't have to worry about the waves knocking you over. You can swap the sea for inland kayaking if you wish to paddle along Rio Punta Uva, where you can spot monkeys, sloths, colorful birds, river turtles, bats, and even iguanas. I took a boat ride out and then went snorkeling in the water. It was truly an enjoyable experience, and I had the opportunity to see coral reefs and swim with the fish. However, be sure to inquire with the locals about the safety of going out into the water so you don't get caught up in the riptide. And whenever possible, avoid swimming too far out. Catching waves is one of the best things to do in Puerto Viejo, especially between December and March. The good news is you don't have to be a pro to partake, as plenty of vendors offer surf lessons to the newbies. I took surf lessons from a local instructor, and I was thrilled when I finally caught a wave. It was a small one though. Now, Playa Cocales is a great place to learn how to surf, and seasoned surfers also love it for its big swells. If the waves are a bit too big for your liking, this sandy stretch of beach is also a great spot to sit back and relax. I packed a picnic and after surfing, had a wonderful time eating and watching the waves break on the shore. Next was Playa Negra, famous for its world-class waves, volcanic black sand, and laid-back charm of its small beach community. Playa Negra is perfect for surfers, adventurers, and travelers looking to relax in a remote landscape far from crowded, touristy resorts. After having rondon, that's a typical Caribbean seafood made with coconut milk, I visited the Jaguar Rescue Center. This center rescues and fosters injured, ill, or orphaned animals. For example, sloths and birds. They provide them with a temporary home or even a permanent one, as not all animals can survive in the wild again. It's thanks to the help of many worldwide volunteers that the center can assist so many animals in need. Adults are expected to pay an entry fee of $23, but entry for children under 10 years is free. I took some pictures, but unfortunately, selfies with the animals in Puerto Viejo are strictly forbidden, so I did not take a selfie with any of the animals there. The tour times are 9:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m., so it's advisable to arrive on time. From there, I visited Cahuita National Park, where I spent the rest of my day. The Cahuita National Park is one of the top national parks in Costa Rica.
Cahuita National Park. The adult entry fee is $5 per person and it gives you full access to the park. Once you arrive, there's a long hiking trail that hugs the beach and
It's renowned for its incredible wildlife and stunning coral reefs. The park is located approximately 20 minutes from Puerto Viejo, allowing you to join a tour or take the bus. I suggest going on a tour because it makes your day much easier and more comfortable. Plus, with a guide, you'll spot way more animals in the park. There were so many different types of animals there. I saw monkeys, snakes, baby alligators, birds, bats, and even a baby raccoon for free. Although we are recommended to donate $5, it's free. You should read the rules though, as single plastics are not allowed and some people had to eat all their snacks before entering. After exploring the wildlife, I hiked down one of the park's trails, which was truly beautiful, as I walked amid nature and watched the animals. The hiking trail ended at the beach, and I got a relaxing view of the Caribbean Ocean. I also went snorkeling, and I didn't regret it. I had the chance to see everything from colorful angelfish and a parrotfish to rays, and even turtles. By the time I got back in the evening, I was tired and hungry. All the cycling and hiking got me exhausted. So I decided to have an early dinner and then go to bed. For dinner, I had the casado, which I later learned means married men. It's called that because in Puerto Viejo, rice and beans are considered married and inseparable. And casado is a hearty plate of protein and carbohydrates with many possible combinations. This is arguably one of the most famous Costa Rican foods. Fish, pork, chicken, or beef is accompanied by rice and beans, often with extras on the side, included salad, corn, tortillas, slices of cheese, fries, and vegetables. You'll see casado on the menu in a soda or a typical Costa Rican cafe as comida típica, a traditional food. And after my meal, I returned to my hotel and had a restful night. I discovered a cool restaurant not too far from my hotel where I got to try some grilled octopus, which is one of the best things I've ever had in my life. And after that, I went to go visit the indigenous people of Bree. Living in the indigenous reserves in the jungle east of Puerto Viejo, the Bree still live a traditional lifestyle. They are experts in jungle medicine and agriculture and have a sacred connection with cacao. They speak their language, Bree. The best way to learn about this unique culture is to take a guided tour. As the Bree speak their language, most don't speak Spanish, so it's best to go with a local guide who can communicate and translate. Only a 15-minute car drive from Puerto Viejo, you'll find that Bree waterfalls. There are multiple of them in the area, and they're named the same on Google Maps. These people have preserved the natural art of making chocolate for thousands of years. I also got to take a chocolate making tour, which was a delicious and fun experience. First, they took us around the farm where we saw the cocoa trees. Then we had a teacher teach us how to make chocolate from scratch. And yes, it's all dark chocolate with none of those additives like milk or whatever. We also got to take some of the chocolate we made with us, which was pretty fun. After an exhilarating experience of creating and drinking chocolate, we continued with the tour. Next was a brief stop at the shaman's house. As we experienced the conical structure of the house, we were informed about the significance of the construction style. Then we went inside. Our tour guide explained to us the importance of the shaman to the indigenous people of Bree and how he served as a spiritual leader. We did not witness any virgin sacrifices though. From there, I went hiking to the Bree Waterfall.
This is your one wild, beautiful life. No second chances, no rewind button, just mistaking surviving for living.
There are two areas of waterfalls here. Catarata Macu is the most popular and safest of the three. The signage can be a bit confusing though, as there are two entrances. One sign says Catarata Macu and the other down the road says Bree Sparkling Waterfalls, but both entries eventually lead you to the same place. One is a couple of little waterfalls trickling into a large pool. Due to the short height of these two smaller waterfalls, cliff jumping looks easier here. I saw even little kids take the jump here. For the tour, you can wear anything light and comfortable, as you will be spending most of the time outdoors under the hot Caribbean sun. However, have your swimsuit beneath. You would not want to miss taking a dip in the waterfall pool. Be sure to pack your sunscreen and insect repellent, as the weather can get extremely hot. However, I booked a tour, so my tour guide ensured that we had everything we needed before heading out. Booking the tour cost about $76, but it was worth it. Another hidden gem, the Two Waters waterfall at Finca Las Brisas, is easily accessible. Like Cataratas Macu, look for a similar sign-posted trail off the main road. After you pay the family around for parking, the path leads to a serene natural pool and waterfalls. These falls are usually less crowded and make a great spot to bring lunch and spend some time there. Now, in the evening, I headed out for dinner and sunset cocktails at a local bar. I was able to enjoy a salsa performance at the bar. Hey, the food was good and the music was great. Everything had a great vibe. Speaking of reggae music, it's one of the most iconic genres to emerge from the Caribbean, and your visit there would not be complete without experiencing it. Again, you can hear reggae music floating out from just about any corner as you walk down the main strip in Puerto Viejo. And I even took a salsa class for the night. However, you have to be security conscious. When moving around in Puerto Viejo at night, there have been cases of people getting robbed. Make sure your valuables are safely tucked away at your hotel or hostel, and then go out and have a good time. On my last day there, I went ziplining.
While traveling is ziplining. And I'm not talking about regular zipline, okay? I'm talking about swinging through the Costa Rican jungle like we were Tarzan and Jane up in there.
I booked a tour and we were provided with a bus that took us to the canopy where I had an adventure swinging through the jungle, much like Tarzan. We went through 18 platforms with a total of 2,400 meters of fun and adventure on carbon fiber cables. As we walked between platforms on the trails filled with flora and fauna, the certified guides were happy to show us and share their knowledge about the majestic nature of the Southern Caribbean in Costa Rica. I learned about their native plants as well as the uses indigenous people have given them throughout history. At each platform, our nature guide explained the curiosities found in this lush environment. In one of the sections of the air route, we had the option to make the descent from a platform to the ground with a Tarzan swing. We slid through 450 meters at a height of 90 meters, at its highest point in the same flight position as Superman. Wow. The swing had my adrenaline pumping. After the canopy tour, a fruit snack was provided as well as transportation back to my hotel. When I got back, I went to visit the town of Cahuita. It's just a 20-minute drive, so I took the bus. The town of Cahuita is a bit more laid back compared to Puerto Viejo, but I still had fun exploring. Beautiful and colorful houses lined the streets, and the locals were helpful. Houses in Cahuita are brightly colored and distinctively Caribbean in appearance. Cahuita is made up of a few roads that all lead to the sea. A walk down any street leads to the water. In most cases, the water around Cahuita is a bit too rough to swim safely, but it is simply glorious to sit and watch the waves pound in. I also bought some souvenirs from the local market and some fruit. Afterwards, I went to Manzanillo. The town is tranquil and named after an old manzanillo tree that once stood in the center of the town. The local Afro-Caribbean cultures gives Manzanillo a different feel from the other parts of the country. The cuisine is spicy and often involves local seafood, including fish, shrimp, lobster, and crab. There are many small restaurants called sodas where you can enjoy inexpensive meals. I ordered lobster for lunch and I was really impressed. Then I went on to visit the Candoca Manzanillo Wildlife and Marine Refuge. This refuge is large and includes rainforests, wetlands, and a coral reef. It's one of the few places in Costa Rica with a coral reef. A variety of animals can be seen in the park, including leatherback sea turtles and a whole range of tropical birds. I visited the beach there. It was incredibly calm and serene, and I stayed for an hour just to take in the view. I signed up for a dolphin tour, and I was not disappointed. I got to see some dolphins. I love it here. At night, I went to check out the nightlife one more time and got a full experience of salsa, reggae music, and good food. Puerto Viejo is a place I hope to visit again, and I'll miss it. What is your take on my 4-day itinerary? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ciao!